Welcome, guys. What do you think today, Robbie boy?
I'm cold.
Oh, it's cold today. And like I usually say, where we at today, Robbie boy?
It's cold, it's noisy, somewhere by a freeway.
Ooh, by the I-15 freeway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're right over there to the west. Well, let's take a look at this, Travis. Is that one mean-looking, gnarly tool? This is, ooh, this is a beet pick, a sugar beet pick that they used back in the day. So our topic today is sugar beets, but mainly the sugar beet factory doing a historical show. And I'm gonna keep the blade clean, so I'm just gonna demo. We're gonna pretend this would be a sugar beet. And
I'll just stand back one.
I was told that they would take the beet, hook it, pull it up, and then take this blade and knock off the greens. And I found out from my friends, the livestock, the cattle loved the greens. Oh, they loved it. They'd take the sugar beets and make molasses, a molasses treat. And then I was Googling it last night and found out if they took the sugar out of the molasses, it makes a good de-icer in the winter.
Oh, well,
I didn't know that.
would have thought that.
A good de-icer. Take the sugar out of molasses. So, and speaking about de-ice, we're getting some ice right here falling out of the sky right now, guys. Oh, there it is. So that's what they'd do. They'd hook it, pull the beet out, hold it up, and then clip the top off.
Goose, would they bend over like that for 12 hours?
Oh, wow.
All day long. It's a long day.
That's a long day, manual labor, and the women, the girls even did it. So back in the day, they used this, and now they use this. Look at that, guys. Is that gonna save on the backs, Rob?
I'll bet you there's a heater in there.
Oh, oh,
I'm just saying.
oh, it's chilly today.
Asking for a friend.
Yep, but this is gonna be a great show, a great show. We got a great guest, and who knows, there might be some surprises as well. All right, we're gonna get uptown to J-Mart.
I grow sugar beets, a wet beet's a happy beet. I'm your sugar daddy, yeah, yeah, 'cause I'm a farmer, baby.
Okay, guys and gals, we're up here to meet and introduce our very first guest today. We played ball together, and he had a softball team forever, J-Mart, really good bunch. We're gonna introduce you to Lane Henderson. Right
That's
here,
my
buddy.
Vanna White.
Hello, friends.
J-Mart, how long has it been in business?
We started in 1962, George.
Oh,
I believe
So
that.
we're 62 years in business. It's kind of an anniversary of when we started and how long we've been in business.
okay. And the J-Mart comes from where again?
That's a great question because my father founded the company. He worked for Press Publishing. He bought the business part of it here. They had a business here in Spanish and one in Provo. And he named it J for JC.
JC.
And my mom was Maureen, and he called her Mart. And so that's
Oh.
where J-Mart came from. And of course, we elected to keep the name as we continue with the tradition.
You bet.
It sure is a staple of Spanish work. That's
It's
for
been here a
sure.
long time.
Yep. Good people they are.
Yes, they are.
Them Hendersons, you bet. Well, have you got any idea how Rudy got his nickname?
Well, most they think it's all for Rudy and Notre Dame, but that's not. I wish it were, but it's not.
That was where my head
Yeah,
went.
actually, we were in high school, and we had one of the film days that we were watching a movie, and it was a Rudy Valley movie. And after that, we went to football practice, and I was the holder for the place kicker, who was Scott Olson.
Okay.
Okay, so we were practicing, and he looked at me and he says, "You look just like that guy in the movie. You're going to be Rudy from now on." And so that's how it stuck. And I was a sophomore in high school, and that's how it ended up being throughout
Wow.
my high school days. And when I went on to play, everybody that knew me from high school always called me Rudy.
Well, sure.
Forgive me for asking, but wasn't Rudy Valley that old school singer guy with that
Yeah.
megaphone?
Yeah, that's
Before
him.
they had microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
How old
But
are
any-
you, bud?
I don't know. It was like an older movie. If they remember back in the day, I graduated in '76, so it came about in about 1972.
And I graduated in '66, so I'm 10 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
What year for you, Rob?
I never graduated.
He's still working on it.
I'm here.
Okay, we're going to go over here at the table here, and we're going to bring back some old memories of an old institution that's been around since 1916. And if you're on the freeway, you can see the big smokestack, right?
It's been a landmark for that
Yeah.
many years.
One of the first things I noticed when I came to Utah here in Spanish Fork was that factory and
Yeah.
that big thing. Yeah.
Everyone knows where it is. They just maybe not know the history of it, but they do know what the building is, and
Yep.
it's there.
So we're going to give you a little brief history here, and then we're going to slip down there later and go through the real thing. So, Rudy?
I went to Europe for a while in 2001, came back in 2004, and in 2005 I compiled the history of Spanish Fork. It was for the sesquicentennial
Wow.
of Spanish Fork City. So I compiled this. I dedicated it to my dad, who actually started it, but was never able to finish it. And I was able to finish it for him in his stead. Let's picture my father.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah.
So he was the one that preserved the history before me, that kind of had that opportunity, and there he is doing the newspaper.
Wow.
So
Now, when was
that's,
this?
This is back in around 58 when he was working with the
58.
newspaper.
I would have been 10 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's where he started, and that kind of passed on to me when I bought the company. And so in honor of that, I compiled the history and continued what his work was. And Nora Allred had written the history prior, and we used a lot of that information for the history. But this book was actually printed for the sesquicentennial of our city, which was 150 years. And of course in it, in 1915, which you mentioned earlier, was the UNI sugar beet factory.
Okay.
Holy crap.
That's the inside of it then. And do you know what the economy was like back then? This actually started in Idaho, and then there was a central hub built in Lehigh.
Right.
And then this was actually built it was dismantled in Idaho and brought down.
Down from Nampa.
Exactly.
Good on you, Goose.
No,
And
I've done
then
my research.
is what had happened is that they built a road, a cement road that would take the trucking and everything from this to the plant in Lehigh.
Anyhow.
A road straight to their other
Yeah.
part. Wow.
And you'll also remember in Salem, on the west side of Salem, there's a road that comes to Spanish Fork, and it's affectionately known as Beet Road, which maintains that name to this day.
Does that?
And the reason being is everyone from that area would bring their produce or their beets on that road
To the factory.
to the factory, and that's how the Beet Road came to be.
Didn't
That's
know
that
that.
name.
Huh? Wow.
So anyway, this is what it looks like, kind of from the outside. This is what you'll see. This is back in the day. This is what it looks like
Ooh.
now.
Okay,
Just a little
back-
bit. But that's when it was first started with the smokestack,
Here's back in the days, guys.
right there. And
I've
here
never
as
seen
well.
smoke come out the stack before.
Yeah, that's back when it was in operation.
Wow.
And Giorgio, this will be of interest to you because you and I sponsored one of the greatest fast pitch softball teams in the state of Utah.
Yep.
It wasn't just Utah, it was a national team. And it was locally, from local people that played. And do you know where the first lighted ballpark was in Spanish Fork?
Yeah, a park school.
The Park School. And how was it lighted? Do you know?
I don't.
Okay, well, we didn't have lights, but we wanted to keep playing ball, but everybody had to work at the beet factory. And so it was dark when they got done. So everyone that had a car would pull up across around the Park School and turn their lights on.
On their
And that's how they
headlights.
played ball.
Really?
That's where it
Wow.
started.
That's something, guys.
And that
That
was
is something.
And that was started by UNI Sugar Company. That's how that team was formed. And it was an excellent team, won national championships, everything.
I remember when King Kong Kelly.
King Kong Kelly pitched for him.
Okay, boys.
Oh yeah, we can't talk about that. We'll get off softball.
I did my research as well, and I thought, and I've been to that factory. I thought, why would you have a giant factory for? And what are sugar beets? They don't have beet factories. So I Googled it, and apparently, sugar beets were made like sugar cane to manufacture sugar. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's correct.
This is what it looked like in the field. You can see it was like everyone was involved in it as well.
Oh,
Everyone in the family was involved with it. In fact, my wife remembers that they used to close school and let everyone go thin sugar beets.
And they called that Beet
They
Day.
called it Beet Day.
Can you imagine that, guys? Getting out of school
To work.
to work, manual labor.
So most everyone in the area learned how to thin sugar beets.
Look at that, Trav. Look at the apparel. Look at the gals. Dresses clear to their ankles and sombrero type hats. And look at the little ones here. Look at their faces. Wow, is that something else?
This is actually in the history book. This is from the William Monk beet field. And this picture was taken by Georgie Anderson photo.
Oh,
Okay. And this was actually in Palmyra, is where this was taken.
all right.
And so a lot of the farming area was devoted to this crop because it was profitable. And World War I saw a change in things, and the diversity of it changed, and World War II kind of brought about the demise of the sugar factory because other sugar was able to be produced from other areas cheaper than what we could do it here. And so that's kind of what ended
I was
this
trying to remember.
wonderful area.
I was
this
trying to
era.
remember what the term's called. Oh, it was a linchpin.
A linchpin.
So linchpin means most important?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So at your house, are you the linchpin?
I wish.
Yeah.
All of us wish that, don't worry.
My 10-year-old, my princess says.
But that,
How has the sugar factory benefited Spanish Fork?
it employed nearly everyone, whether from the produce area of producing it to working in it. And of course, during the wars and stuff, a lot of the women and young ladies would work there to produce it when all the men were at war. So it sustained the economy. And it was an integral part of our growth of our area, and also to help everyone survive a very difficult time.
So it's safe to say Spanish Fork may have not been Spanish Fork had it not been for
It
it.
wouldn't have been the hub of what it became, because this was actually the hub of what started. And so it then became a destination for a lot of people to come work,
Booyah.
because it was you could find employment.
So I'm just thinking, guys and gals, if you think you've got it tough now,
Try thinning sugar beets.
now your wife worked in the fields, right?
She did. She actually grew up in Palmyra, and they did grow sugar beets, and she worked in the fields quite a bit.
Wow.
So
She
is
remembers it.
So is she one tough
Oh,
gal?
I'll say she is. Really tough.
Oh, I have a deep respect for women. Yes, I do. And I know you do.
I do too, as well.
Robbie?
I'm afraid of them.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to
No.
add?
Just that it's a history. I love history. I love preserving history, and it's part of our history that we're probably not going to have much longer. And so it's good to remember it. So thanks for what you're doing.
That's a good thing we ought to start doing. If there's somebody, a friend, a neighbor, a loved one in that, just tell them 2 words.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rudy just thanked us. And so we're going to go to our next spot, guys, and we sure appreciate Rudy. Thank you.
Thanks,
bud.
Goose. Good to see you as always.
Hey, booyah, bud.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a crazy little shack beyond the tracks, and everybody calls it the Sugar Shack. We just down and dream of those old memories. Yeah, honey, to our sugar shack. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, guys and gals, we just left J-Mart like we told you we would. We're down on the west side of Spanish now. We're down here at this historical landmark called the Spanish Fork Sugar Beet Factory. And we're on the south side of the building right here.
And he made me dress like this. I'm cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly right now. So, Travis, we're going to slip inside here and show our viewers what the inside of this factory looks like. Here we go.
Okay, this is not
Wow.
when I drove by on the freeway, this is
Wow.
not what I envisioned.
Wow. Holy smoke.
How often are we going to get a chance to walk in this building, you know? Figure if we get a chance to come up here, why not? I just wanted to take advantage of it.
All right, guys, as you can see, the building is well ventilated now. And you can see in the background I-15 freeway traffic, and you ought to be able to hear it as well. Oh, this building's well ventilated. So we're gonna get where it's just a little warmer.
Do you guys realize we get the opportunity to walk inside this building before they tear it down? I mean, it really is quite a opportunity for us. I mean, we've all driven by it how many times?
Oh,
You ever see people flip those tires and stuff?
no.
Feel that, bud? That's
I know.
really heavy.
Rob, you remember when we were out at the Leland Mill
Leland Mills, I go there still to this day.
and you were jumping in the piles of residue?
No, Goose, you made me jump in the piles of residue.
Because that's what a sidekick does.
Yes, sir.
Well, you notice here, guys, big piles of sawdust. So apparently somebody's using the building for something. Well, this don't look like the brand new transfer station, does it?
Do you guys realize we get the opportunity to walk inside this building before they tear it down? I mean, it really is quite a opportunity for us. I mean, we've all driven by it how many times?
Shoo, 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 Sugar Town. Yesterday it rained in Tennessee.
Remember when you were a kid and you go exploring and stuff?
Yeah.
My cousin and I used to hop the wall at like the cleaners and we'd go and like look around their back lot for whatever reason. Just stuff like that.
Well, what I'm thinking here, Trav, this has been a sugar beet factory back when I was a teenager and I was looking for a job, Rob. Barcraft Trailers used to manufacture trailers down here.
Okay.
So it had sugar beets in it, trailers in it, oh, and the pallet place.
You know, here's some people say that buildings have memories that have all the different people that have been in there, there's a little piece of their spirit still in that building, so to speak.
Sure.
From what the building has been through, it retains that energy.
Yeah. All
This
right.
building has seen a lot.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Look at that smokestack. Travis, Chris. Wow.
I don't know that we're going to be able to get in there.
I'm going inside it.
Are you sure about that?
Uh-huh. Oh. Chance of a lifetime.
I guess there is a ladder there. Wow. Is that incredible? Just the smokestack alone to build that.
My footing. Are you in position?
Yep, you're ready to go.
What an opportunity, huh? Felt a lot of history in there, just a lot of, I don't know, just forever, so to speak. That's the best way you can describe it, old. And after driving by it for 20 years to get to go inside it, it's actually really well built, really strong. You can tell it's really strong.
Oh, you can tell that.
It feels thick too. So Goose, I think these are those piles we see going inside, maybe? Is that where that is?
Trav, here's an old broom, but it's not that old.
That's in better shape than one I have.
Wow. Yeah, it's not that old. Got it. Good.
You know, it's kind of sad though, Goose, if you look at this and I mean, you think how many families lived off this plantation right here. It was such a big part of the beginning of Spanish Fork, and now it's just,
Yeah.
do you notice you can see that there was a lot of smoke in here?
Yeah.
See the discoloration on the ceiling?
Wow.
Goose, I'm with Travis in the warehouse area, and I say, hey, look, looks like there's all the smoke on the ceiling, right? And Travis mentions to me, he goes, oh, well, the fire department uses this warehouse and this housing for training and stuff. Look what I found back here.
Really?
Come here. Come here.
Honey, honey, sugar, sugar, honey, honey, sugar, sugar, honey,
Telling me how to bust through a wall in case of a fire. He's training how to bust through a wall. What is this scenario for, busting through a wall?
So this would be to, like, if we're in a structure fire, we gotta get through the wall, we get to a victim, or get us out, and now fire and have another way to get out of the building, another way to get this, if we're, the way we can get blocked off.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
That slide is actually doing pretty good.
May I fill your axe? Can I just fill it? Did you want to fill it, Goose? You never know what's going to turn up on the show.
Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me. Pour your sweetness over me. Oh, sugar.
And they're making the hole big enough so they can crawl through and someone else can crawl.
That's so sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour little sugar on it. Oh, yeah. Pour little sugar on it, honey. Pour little sugar on it, baby. I'm gonna make your life so sweet. Yeah, pour little sugar on it, honey. Ah, sugar.
Guys, I just want to share a story from a friend of mine, Ryan. He said when he was a young man, he worked here. He said him and his buddies, and I can't believe this being in here now, Rob. He said they would come in here and climb these beams with their feet like this, and get up to the top there. And now that I'm in here and I'm looking, I'm thinking, Ryan, wow, how did you guys do that? But like he said, young and dumb, Rob.
Oh yeah, when I was a teenager, I was as dumb as they got.
So you mentioned a minute ago, and I think it's noteworthy, when you lived in California
Yes, sir.
and you were homeless,
Yes, sir.
that you would sleep in this building.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. This would be, I'd be grateful for this building, sure.
You said you used shopping carts.
In LA, this is before it was the homeless world mecca that it is. Back in those days, we'd take a shopping cart and you'd get trash bags out of trash cans and empty the trash out, and you'd put it all over the shopping cart, and that would insulate it from rain, and you'd squeeze your body up inside there, and that's how you basically got through the night. I was actually on the streets with the shopping cart, all that for a good 3 years, yes.
3 years.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So that's what I mean. You look at somebody and you just never know what their life's been like.
But everybody has stuff that goes bad. It's what they choose to do with it that counts, you know?
That's true. That's a good comment.
And it's actually good people like yourself reaching out and taking the time and asking them, is there something I can do for you? Can, you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for other people reaching out and helping me get here.
Make sure you tell your loved ones, close friends and neighbors that you really love and appreciate them and thank them for everything they do for you.
Well, Goose, we normally end the show, you talk about, it's a beautiful day, Travis pan on up there, it's a dandy, but I just don't foresee that here.
Really?
No. Maybe you could thank our guests, though.
Well, with this well-ventilated building, I know Travis can slip the camera out through those windows. It is a
freezing.
It is a freezing day. Wow. The wind's blowing from the west, coming from Benjamin and Lakeshore. It's a little chilly today, but you know what, Rob? Nonetheless, it's still a beautiful day.
It is.
Yep, it's a beautiful day. Yes, it is. Yep. So, Trav, if you can cast up to the heavens there, and we'd like to thank our guests, Rudy,
J-Mart,
J-Mart, Lane Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way good.
Was that a great intro?
That was.
And then pictures he showed and told us some facts about this great building and our community.
I'd like to thank the Spanish Fork Fire Department for showing up on cue.
Yep. We'd like to thank them as our guests as well. And as usual, Robbie boy,
we know how we do it.
Remember, we love you. We truly do. And we've got another show, another historical show planned in the very near future, we're going to go out and do one on the Del Monte Cannery building.
Hopefully they have heaters.
Ooh, so, guys, we're out of here.
Crumbling old potatoes and molasses. If you can't see 'em, put on your glasses. They're shiny and large, like a fisherman's barge. You know you eat enough when you start seeing stars. Oh, potatoes and